NOOB. So this week I'm going to actually give you a few pointers for looking for a new apartment. I'll be giving 10 different good tips. Hopefully it's not too much information, so let's get going on the info. First and foremost, if you're going to start early, look to get an idea of different spaces. In LA, I would say that the average studio apartment is probably going to range anywhere from $900 to $1,200. If it's around $900, it's probably going to be, I would say, 300 to 400 square feet. If you're going to look early, look only to get an idea. I wouldn't seriously start looking for a new apartment until a month before my old lease is over. There are a lot of good websites to actually search for an apartment. Free services include Craigslist, but be careful because Craigslist, Trulia.com, apartmentfinder.com, rent.com. There's website rentals. A lot of people talk about it here on the West Coast. It's $60 for 2 months. You either have people that think it's wonderful or people that don't like it at all. It's really just peas and carrots. Another resource is just driving around. If you want to take some time off from work, go ahead and drive around, look for different apartment complexes. That will also give you a feel for the area, which is also equally important. But if you randomly just see an apartment, you're like, oh my god, that looks perfect, you can get a tour that day, because normally they're okay with like same day tours, and then sometimes you'll find your apartment that way. I would say to do that on a Monday, especially if you find an apartment that you like, then they'll have you fill out an application and you don't have to wait. Like if you did it on Friday, you wouldn't have to wait all weekend long to see the results. Which brings me to 2. Applications. When looking for an apartment, you'll have to fill out, or most places will have you fill out an application. If they don't have you fill out an application, that's a red flag. Applications, the primary reason is to check your credit history and your credit score. It's unfortunate that a sometimes arbitrary number does determine whether or not you get a space, but that is the world that we live in. There is an application fee that goes along with it because the tax company or whoever does that, I still don't know, has to have a certain amount of money to process it. Go figure. I've probably lost about anywhere from $100 to $200 on application fees just because I've moved so much in LA. So just be aware that that is money that you're just gonna lose. Application fees are anywhere from $20 to $35 depending on the place. They will only accept cash, check, or money order, but cash is more common, obviously because it's the universal talker. I try to take out about $100 if I'm gonna go apartment hunting, just to make sure that I definitely have enough. Applications will ask you for a lot of background history. They'll ask you for your bank account number, your social security number, previous and present work history, so try and have that information with you. Also, they might ask you for a few references and possible criminal history, so just be prepared to answer those questions. I always try to bring all of this information with me and have it readily available because I like to fill out my application on the spot. There are a lot of times where people will take an application, leave, and they don't often come back. So if you fill out your application and hand it over, you're already 10 steps ahead of the person behind you. Third, location, location, location. In LA, it's incredibly important. Whether you want to be closer to work, whether you want to be close to the beach, to the nightlife, in LA even though you're only going 2 miles, it could take you a whole hour to get home. You're probably better off riding a bike. Wear a helmet, please. Just be aware of different travel times. That's gonna be a big decision maker. 4, bring someone with you. Someone that you can talk to about the apartment. What do you think? What do you like? Blah, blah, blah. And also, friends say a lot about your choices in life. You know how they always say don't judge a book by its cover? Well, managers are judging you by your cover. Don't bring your scary bouncer looking friend. If they are a smart manager, then that probably will raise a red flag for them, and they may be a little bit less likely to give you the space. Now, you don't have to. If you don't have anyone to bring with you, but it's always good to bring a friend. I like to bring people with me because they help me think. 5, I talked about smart managers. Make sure that this manager is nice. Like, seriously, you're going to be owing them money every month. And not only are you owing them money, but they owe someone else a larger amount of money. It's kind of an awful middleman situation to be in. If there are any red flags, if they seem kind of shady, that's enough of a reason to rethink, oh, should I live in this area? Just be aware of those things. Now, this may sound kind of stupid, but just talk to them. They're already a part of this community that maybe you want to join. This is also a person that you'll want to get to know, especially if they're an on-site manager. On-site managers mean that they live inside the building. Off-site, they do not live in the building. 6, ask questions and test everything, because this is your potential home. Test the faucets in the showers just to make sure that the water's working. Test all the lights. And if they say no, that's weird and it's a red flag. Ask questions like, when was this building constructed? Have you had any past pest problems? How's the noise level at night? Also, a way that you can test the noise level at night, if you found an apartment that you really like, actually drive around the area at night to get a feel for it. And also, a good question to ask, and it may sound kind of stupid, if there are any maintenance problems, what am I responsible for and what can I contact you for? If it's a good manager, they should say, you can contact me for everything. Obviously, I don't know a whole lot of paperwork and all that good stuff. It shouldn't be your job to do all of the maintenance in your place. Ask them how fast the turnaround is on maintenance problems. Obviously, if you have to take care of some of the maintenance issues, that's another red flag, and that's another reason why I bring a friend along. They will test out the things that I forget to test. They will ask the questions that I forget to ask. There's a lot going on at any given moment when you're looking for a new apartment. It's just sort of like, oh my gosh, look at this space, it looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, is that a stain on the floor? That's weird. It takes the pressure off. 7, don't get caught up in the competition. They'll have other people looking at this very same space, but you need to remember why you're there. Solely focus on, is this the right place for me? 8, try and have some overlap between your old lease and your new lease. So I mentioned before that I like to start looking for apartments about a month before my old lease is up. So in my mindset, I get to thinking, okay, that gives me 2 weeks to find an apartment and 2 weeks to move. So that way you're not like freaking out, rushing, trying to get everything moved in one weekend. You have to take time off and all of this, it becomes a headache. If you can afford it, try and have some overlap. If you cannot afford it, then get as many friends as possible to help you move. 9, get everything written down. If you're going to pay anyone any amount of money, you always get a receipt. There are enough people in this world, unfortunately, that need money for a lot of different reasons. Some of them good, some of them bad, but you don't want to run into a situation where you are vulnerable and out of money. Always get a receipt, whether it's you're putting a hold on your apartment so that they take it off the market, putting down a deposit, or even giving first month's rent. Always get everything written down. Dot your T's, cross your T's and dot your I's. You're just taking care of yourself. 10, I've said this before, ask questions. Never be afraid to ask questions. You have to ask questions. You're going to be living here from anywhere 6 months to 5 years. You need to know as much as you can about this space. I make new videos every Tuesday, so tune in for next week when I'm actually going to walk you through the moving process. I already filmed moving into this new place, and I had a friend help me, and it was wonderful and a good time. Okay, noobs, thanks for watching. Bye!